Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock. Pointed the wrong way. The Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need Northeast, go to Brock. Remember the free Friday night clinic coming up here just a few days again on Friday night, every football Friday. Every football player, band member, cheerleader, dance team member, anybody injured on Friday night, free Friday night clinic over at Brock on Blue Bonnet. Great service they provide the community, have for years. And of course, Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Of course, Unique Physique and restoredmotions.com. Tell you more about all of our great sponsors here. And as always, linked in the description on YouTube and tagged on Facebook. Okay, y'all, a lot of people asked, did the streak end yesterday? No, the streak did not end yesterday. We did an in-transit edition, and for some reason, StreamYard apparently did not send the video to YouTube. It went to Facebook, so it's on Facebook. You can go see it there. So the streak did not end. But very odd. I was watching. There was like 3 people. I was like, where is everybody? I knew something was wrong. So anyway, something went awry on yesterday's morning show, but it is there on Facebook if you want to go back and watch. Quick in transit edition. Anyway, glad to have you aboard with us here. A couple of things. Of course, is Texas A&M week for LSU and the Aggies, or as what? Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. As Jason said, it's Milkman Hate Week. All right, so it is LSU, Texas A&M. Brian Kelly met with reporters on Monday. Teams back at work. We did a Bama is Burning yesterday. You might have seen it. It was quite fun. I enjoy trolling Alabama fans way too much, and they just don't seem to get that. If they would ever just stop paying attention, if they would ever just not care what I say, I would stop. But they just can't help themselves. Like ants to sugar on the counter. I mean, they just flock to it. Somebody said something bad about us. Idiots. Anyway, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Saints signed free agent wide receiver. I like it. Veteran guy, was on the Chiefs the last 2 years, so he won 2 Super Bowls. And you're without Rashid Shaheed, you had to go add something else to that room, and so to get a veteran player like that who's had a lot of success, who is still a deep threat, who didn't cost you any draft capital, so you didn't have to go trade for him, right? He was on the market, so you could just go sign him. So certainly a plus for the Saints. If Carr's not back this week against the Chargers, Spencer Rattler will start again. Not sure if you saw last night, Chargers lost. So short week for LA, playing Monday and then turn around playing Sunday. But the Saints have a long week here, but Saints have to go across country. Excuse me. And still a tough spot, missing a lot of your players. But if you start to get guys back, look, I mean, if you get Chris Olave back, you add Marquez Valdes-Scantling, maybe Taysom's back this week. I don't know. Wait till tomorrow, see the first injury report. Maybe a little more continuity on your offensive line. We'll see. We'll see how they do. So, all right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We'll get to your comments. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. There's a disaster in the Scone household. No coffee. We're out of K-Cups. So I've not yet had my coffee, and that is a problem. That's problematic. Did my cold plunge like I do every day, and that gets you going. But I'm still used to having my coffee as we do the show. So I've not yet had my first sip of coffee, and that's discouraging. Okay, let's say some good morning, y'all. Leon, good morning. Did we not have a show yesterday? We did have a show yesterday. If you missed it, we did an in-transit edition, and for some reason, it didn't go to YouTube. I used my StreamYard software. It went to Facebook, but it did not go to YouTube. Kelly Gross, Trivia Carter. No, there. Sorry, I did that. Eli, more Matt. It's funny how life goes. Saints started 2-0. Ravens started 0-2. How quickly teams get exposed in the NFL. Long season, man. It is a long season. Boy, the Ravens blasted Tampa last night. Mike Evans got hurt for those who missed it. And And if you looked at the final score, it's all 41-31. Don't be deceived. I think the Ravens scored 27 unanswered in that game. It was an avalanche. Christian, good morning, Matt. We starting back over from day one. No, we did a show yesterday. It was on Facebook. It was go look at it. It was episode. Looking at it right here, episode 2462, 23 hours ago. LSU ranked number 7 heads to Texas A&M. Did a show yesterday. Thomas, more Matt. On Matt's at Ramos' contribution on Ramos, excuse me. Other fire on AFR yesterday. Yeah, so Roy, thank you, Thomas. Roy is it's an NIL app, and they sponsor the Locked On Podcast Network. So all the college channels do reads for Roy, and it's called ROI, Return on You, and it's a pretty cool NIL platform where it's like micro contributions to athletes. And the cool thing is that if let's say if the athlete enters the transfer portal, or like if you make a contribution to recruit and they don't pick your school, then you get your money back. So it's pretty interesting the way that they've structured it. So every week they allow us to do a contribution for a player on the team that we do. So like for me, Locked On LSU, I get to pick an LSU player every week to make a contribution to. Brad David, good morning. Jason, love the smoking jacket. If you missed AFR on Monday, we did another Bama is Burning. And with, of course, being the Tennessee game and Tennessee fans smoking cigars, went ahead and put on a smoking jacket and lit up a cigar in studio with Gordy's blessing. I had to call him and say, look, here's my idea. Can I light a cigar? I said, go ahead. Yeah. So anyway, the smoking jacket, by the way, is Gordy's too, or was Gordy's. When the office that I have now used to be Gordy's office, and my office used to be next to his. And he had that jacket just on a coat rack for a long time. And I was like, what do you do with this? He's like, anyway, I don't know where he got it from, what happened. Anyway, and he didn't want it. So I was like, can I have it? So I bust it out from time to time. I mean, if nothing else, it's really a nice jacket, but I mean, it's extra, but it's a nice jacket. And I bust it out from time to time. Sometimes for things like that, when it's just fun, or if I'm on the, smoking a cigar out back, family's over and I want to make a joke, like I'll put it on. I like it. Chris, what's going on, man? What's the biggest worry LSU should have playing against the Colt this weekend that isn't venue related? LSU's pass defense still. I don't know. Look, I mean, Evan Stewart no longer being there is a big boost, but they do have some talent on the edge, and LSU. If I'll give you a little teaser here, if you go listen to Locked On LSU today, I talk about how Blake Baker has been able to sort of turn around the LSU defense so quickly. But one of the things that I kind of dive into is LSU's defensive statistics. So remember, LSU last year was like triple digits in everything. Right now, they're 67th in total defense. Again, that's not anything to write home about. But when you were 108th last year, 67th is a market improvement. They're 33rd in rush defense, 35th in scoring defense, allowing 20 points a game. 20.5 points per game is what LSU's defense is allowing right now. I mean, if you were 35th in scoring defense last year, you're a playoff team. But they're 103rd in pass defense. So, this is a secondary, I think, that's getting better, but they still give up yards through the air. I think for LSU's defensive front, they got to pressure Connor Wegman the way they did Jackson Dart. I think that's really the key. You get to Wegman, you hit him, you put him on the ground, you affect his throws. That's how you affect their offense. What's up, Christian? Good morning, man. Good morning, Matt. The Les Miles era is in full swing. Oh, they don't like that at all. Rocky, good morning. Do you think Hilton plays this year? I don't know, Rocky. I'm surprised he hasn't played to this point. So what I'll continue to say is you just move forward as if you're not going to have him. And if you do, you're pleasantly surprised. So, yeah, I don't know, man. When he dressed against UCLA and didn't play, and then didn't dress the next week against South Alabama, that's when it was like, Austin, good morning. First time listening live from the new house in Prairieville. Okay. Breakfast with a house full of boxes and morning scone. There you go, man. Glad y'all made it back home. Glad you had safe travels. We'll have to catch up soon, man. Come by Don Juan, man. Come to Whiskey and Wine or something like that one of these games. It'll be a good time. Bubba, good morning. Tim Gotro, glad your dry cleaning made it to the show on time yesterday. That was the bit that I was doing throughout the show. Was like, Muse, is my dry cleaning here yet? Because I had my jacket in a dry cleaning bag. And so I kept saying, is my dry cleaning? And that was the tease all throughout the show to make sure people knew, like, we were getting to Bama's burning. But fun. I love radio. It's so much fun. It's just theater of the mind. You can have fun with stuff like that. It's, I don't take myself seriously. I take what I do seriously. So, yes, it was a lot of fun. Well executed. Brian, good morning. I was doing a little shopping at Walmart in OKC on Sunday. I had all my LSU gear. A gentleman said, "Go Tigers." It turned out to be Caden Durham's brother. Pretty cool. Okay, that's awesome, man. That's right. So Caden Durham was, I think, from Oklahoma, but then was playing at Duncanville in Texas. Very cool. Boy, he's a stud, man. And Brian Kelly raved about him yesterday. He's still battling through that injury. Kelly says he's about 80, 85%. I mean, playing at that level when you're limited still, really impressive. Jerry G, good morning. Hey, Brad, do you think Oklahoma regrets extending Venables? They're having a tough first year in the SEC. It's tough to say that, do they regret extending him, Brad? Because I think, like, to be able to recruit, you have to stay ahead of contracts. So I understand why you feel the need to extend coaches, right? Because they have to be able to go recruit with, this is what that was saying anyway, with the secure with job security, right? As a blanket, so they can go, look, yeah, I'll be here. Look, I have this long contract. I don't think the contracts are the problem. I think the buyouts are the problem. But yes, Oklahoma, I think, is having a very rude awakening. And the point that listen, we make predictions every year, and sometimes there's strikes and gutters. You hit on some, you miss on some. And like, I thought Auburn could have been maybe the sleeper team in the SEC this year. Clearly, they are not ready to be that. But one I hit was, so look, man, Oklahoma ran Dylan Gabriel out of town because they wanted to turn it over to Jackson Arnold. My point was, y'all better be careful about that, man. You had a 4-year starter who won 10 games for you, and you're running him out to play a freshman. Now all of a sudden, Oklahoma's 108th in total offense, 128th in offense, something like that. I think they're 128th in offense. And meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel's one of the Heisman front runners right now for the number one team in the country. Chris P, good morning. Jerry G, love the MVS signing. I do too, man. You had to go get a veteran receiver, and I don't know that you could have done much better than that, especially for what you got him, plucking him off the street. JTL, good morning. Rex, good morning. Rocky, I watched Scone yesterday on Facebook. There you go. You were one of the few, Rocky, the few, the proud. The Facebook morning Sconers from yesterday. Hey, Brent, good morning. Jonathan, good morning. Weston Weaver, didn't realize what kind of problem I had until I didn't have my morning dose of Scone. Hey, man, I'm right there with you. Like, it feels unnatural, right? It would feel unnatural for me to not do morning Scone. I need a redshirt West Week, so we'll have him back next year. Hopefully the youngest brother will come to LSU as well. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there with West. He traveled and was dressed on Sunday or on Saturday. So, hang on one second. I need to go stop Drew's sound machine. Hang on 1 second. The dulcet tones of Mr. Toby Tomplay.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing. You need an orthopedic, go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Also, unique physique and restored motions. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. That's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Lowest prices, never any contracts. You do the whole thing over telemed, and they can ship anywhere in the country, so you don't even have to be in Baton Rouge. Uniquephysique.com. So West Weeks. Yeah, so West Weeks traveled and was dressed, but didn't play. And whenever Greg Penn, when it was injured, Devon Keys went in. So, look, I look at it like if they're able to redshirt him and get another year, okay. But I don't think you can do that at the expense of this team's success. So if you get a point where you got to have him play, he's got to go play. He's only played in 3 games this year, so there is another game that he could play and still maintain his redshirt year. Hey, Gary, good morning. Glad to see BK got the right choices for this team and getting the job done. Patrick, your Bama burning segment topped what you did after Vanderbilt. I'm so pumped. On to A&M for first place. You mean lighting a cigar in studio played? Matt, good morning. Flying out at 2:30. Head to Pennsylvania to pick up my 86 Ford Mustang GT, driving it down to Charlotte for a big car show. Pumped for no PO for a week. There you go, Matt. Awesome, man. What a cool day, man. I'm not a car guy like that, but what a really cool thing to be able to do, though, right? Go get it, man. Enjoy your day. That's awesome news. Safe travels, bud. Jacob Thompson, good morning from Gate City, Virginia. Hey, Dane, what's good, man? Spurge. Glad to hear it was a tech issue. Was concerned about the Scone fan. It's funny. One of our friends called Eric and was like, "Is Matt okay?" Like, what do you mean? He didn't do more than Scone. It's like, yeah, he did. It was Facebook and transit, whatever. Anyway, if people worry, it's good to know, though. Cajun Country, good morning. Can we all chip in to get Bama a Cheez-It Bowl championship trophy? Y'all, don't let them lose to Missouri this week. Don't let them lose to Missouri this week on their home field. Tiger Diver, enjoyed Bama's burning yesterday. Thanks, man. Chance, good morning. Brad, you always seem to be out of coffee. You need to buy more once you start to get low. Brad, I don't always seem to be out of coffee. It's just like, I don't know. This has happened. I think this is the second time in the last few months. Usually Erica does like a grocery order on Shipt and it gets delivered on Friday. And she was sick this weekend. So I think maybe she didn't check the coffee or forgot to ask or whatever. Anyway. Thomas DeBoer with all those for sale signs in his yard when he got back from Knoxville. Did he actually have for sale signs in his yard? I didn't see it. I made a joke about it, but I didn't actually see that there were signs. Melody, good morning. Jerry, I was listening to a Bama fan on Paul Feinbaum. He was ticked off on his team. You shouldn't be listening to Paul Feinbaum. You should be listening to After Further Review with Matt Moscona. Lowell Cormier, good morning. Spurge, get a local coffee company to sponsor the show. Problem solved. Abner Neal, good morning. Dane, heading there in a few minutes. Heading where in a few minutes? I'm a few minutes behind. Brett, I don't think we've seen LSU's best game. They're still winning. They are getting better. Trash week. It's not a champ. Each week, I'm sure that is. It's not a championship team. I think, part of my open on AFR yesterday was about consistency. It's funny because Brian Kelly used the word consistency in his Monday press conference about a dozen times, but I think getting better, like Brett, the thing about, I don't think to be a championship team, you have to get better each week, but I do think you have to play with consistency. And that's what LSU is starting to do. So let's see if they can do it again this week. I think that's a big challenge. Like if you go out and beat A&M this week, with an open date and then 3 of your last 4 at home, and you're probably going to be favored in all 4, and with a game to play with, it's hard to imagine LSU, if they win this week, it's hard to imagine them dipping below 10-2, 7-1 in the league. Now, if you lose this week, you leave yourself no margin for error, right? So if you lose this week and then you lose at home to Bama, or you beat Bama and then go lose at Florida or something like that, then your playoff hopes are done. But if they're able to go replicate again this week, boy, that'd be really impressive, man. I mean, I think they would be playing their best at the right time. Let's see, Rex, what do you think of Blake's picket fence formation, elite or Bush? I wouldn't say it's Bush League. So do what works with your personnel. Mark, will Coach O go for the vacant USM job in December? I don't think so, Mark. Everything that I've been told is that Ed's done coaching, living his life, living it up in Miami. I think his son's an assistant at Miami. When he needs his fix, he goes over to Miami practice, and I think he's good. Chance, no offense to Toby, but the Walk This Way jingle is more addictive than Parish Roofing. What's the Walk This Way jingle? Tommy Primo, good morning. Elijah Steele, what's your cold plunge setup? Yeah, so I bought a what's called a Nuvio, Nuvio. It's a chiller. It's a box chiller about that big. And so I fill the bathtub up at night. And then it's like Erica's got like in the master bathroom, we have like a jacuzzi tub, like a big tub. And so I fill it up, I put the chiller in it, and it chills all night. And so by the time I wake up in the morning, I got it set to be 54, 55 degrees. So, and then wake up. Well, I wake up, I start Drew's backpack, do his meds and all that stuff. I take my vitamins, and then I go jump in the cold plunge. Minimum 3 minutes, maximum 6 minutes. Temperatures in the 50s. That's the recommended usage. All right, please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel. Eric, morning. Obviously, never want injuries, so forgive me. So forgive the phrasing. Which one do you think is more crucial for the team's unlock? Emory forcing Durham's breakout, or Perkins opening up weeks? So, Eric, Perkins didn't open up weeks. That's a misconception, because Perkins was playing the star. He was not playing off ball after that first week. And I still think that even if Perkins had stayed off ball, you still would have seen weeks as well, because they weren't rotating at the same spot. So I think that's a misconception. I think John Emery would have had a really good year, and eventually Caden Durham. Look, Caden Durham made the most of his opportunity, right, at South Carolina. And what's to say he wouldn't have made the most of his opportunity whenever he would have gotten it that game or some other time? I think the biggest loss is Jacobian Guillory, because you're still very thin on the interior, and he was your best guy. So now with him out, that obviously opened the door for reps from guys like Ahmad Bro and Don McKinley getting healthy. Those guys don't flash, but they've helped solidify a rush defense that's 33rd in the country right now. Dane, hope she is feeling better. Thanks, man. Joshua Foster, morning from Birmingham. Bama fans are definitely freaking out over here, saying DeBoer is not it and worried Ryan Williams will transfer, go Tigers. Who could have seen it coming? The best part about it, too, is they all know I'm right. Like, the reality is sinking in that they spent all offseason crapping on me, telling me how dumb I was, calling me every name in the book, defending their guy, and now they realize I was right. I was right all along about everything. And I'll just keep dangling that over their head forever. Because I love to troll fan bases. And Alabama's so easy because they are allergic to anybody saying anything bad about them. Like, they feel like it's their birthright to be awesome. And so when someone dares challenge that, they're aghast. How dare you? So I'll just keep trolling them. It's too much fun. And they're just not smart enough to realize it. Like if they realized all they had to do was stop engaging all of my content, I would stop. But it's like Bama loses, and the first thing Bama fans do is run to see what I say about it. Idiots. John, good morning. Chris, they lose to Missouri. I'd be very nervous to be Kalen. Thomas, I'll get the picture sent to you. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Aaron, good morning. Dane, no fine bomb. No fine bomb. AFR with Matt Moscona. Ryan Pike, Matt, don't know if you've answered. When are we getting Whit Week's merch on the website? So, Ryan, I have been workshopping a few ideas. The one idea that everyone has said what they're calling Whit Weeks right now is something that I'm not comfortable putting on a shirt. But yes, I'll hold some feet to the fire and get that done today. Michael Thacker, morning. Will there ever be a possibility of playoff teams being determined prior to conference championship game? Losing that game should never knock you below a non-participant in your own conference. Yeah, I agree, Michael. The only way that I would see that happening is because the other part of that is also true. Is you win a conference championship game and it could get you into the playoff. So no, but what I think would be interesting is if they ever did away with conference championship games. And the hard part about that is the revenue, right? It's why they won't do away with them. It's because it's another TV show. It's revenue that they don't want to give up. I think it would have to get to the point where it was counterproductive playing that game, like the scenario you just said. Players are getting hurt. It was an extra game. It was costing you a playoff spot. Like if that started to unfold, then maybe you'd see them do away with it. But the point I made forever, y'all, is like the SEC didn't have a conference championship game until 1992. Somehow the league got on for 50 years without a conference championship game. Like you don't need a conference championship game. You can crown a champion without a conference championship game. But it was a made-for-TV special to generate more revenue, and it worked in the SEC, and everybody else copycatted it. You don't need a conference championship game. Okay, y'all, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. As always, shout out to Brock and Parrish. Need North Peters. Go to Brock. Need a roof, call Parrish. ParrishBuilt.com. Unique Physique and Restored Motions. Unique Physique, semaglutide, tirzepatide, the weight loss shots. If you want to learn more about it, do the whole thing over telemed. They can ship your medicine anywhere in the country. Never any contracts, and the lowest prices guaranteed. UniquePhysique.com. And of course, you got pain. Book a session with Crystal Poche over at Restore Motions and restoredmotions.com. I love this one. Rockies, did Emory Jones not have a subpar PFF ranking Saturday? Makes SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. It's what I always say, Rocky. So PFF. So for those that missed it, the two lowest graded starters for LSU on Saturday from Pro Football Focus were DJ Chester and Emory Jones. On Monday, Emory Jones was named SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. So it's what I always say, man. Pro Football Focus is a metric. It is not the metric. It is just something to consider. How did Pro Football Focus arrive at that? I don't know. Like, I don't know how their grading system works, but it's something to consider. It doesn't mean it's the be-all, end-all. The other part of it is who in the league office votes for the Player of the Week awards. I don't know. Did they just have to they have to pick an offensive lineman, and so LSU had a big win, so they're like, yeah, pick Emory Jones. I don't know. I have no idea. But that's why I would say it's something to consider. Okay. We got to go. Matt T-Bob says the Saints should draft Milroe with their first pick just for you. Hey, Dad, good morning. Ant said, his last one, I got to go. Has Baker's name come up for any coaching positions? Not that I've heard. Keep in mind this. LSU's paying Blake Baker $2 million a year. So it's not like he would leave for a lesser job. It would have to be one of those jobs you don't say no to. The other part of it, too, is Blake Baker's wife is from Mandeville, and she played soccer at LSU. Her family is in the area. So that was a big part of them coming back as well. Be close to her family, have help, with grandparents, help with kids, all that sort of stuff. So they just got home. It would take a lot. I think the day will come, but it would take a lot to pry him out of here. It would have to be one of those jobs that you don't say no to. And I don't think he's there yet. So, okay, y'all, I got to go. Again, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Now that we're done, jump on over to Locked On LSU podcast or YouTube, Locked On LSU. We appreciate you for checking that every day. We'll see you for AFR.